Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mr. Math Experience. I am so happy and excited to present you today a homework help request. Okay, we received this exercise and we were asked for some help. Um, I have told you that we're building our YouTube channel, so we want to create significant content for you. Okay, we help this student with this exercise. So let's check. This is about parallel and perpendicular lines. Um, the only concepts we need to find in here is that parallel lines will have the same slope, okay? And perpendicular lines, when we multiply the slopes, the result should be -1, okay? Now we have six specific conditions. We need to find out equations for lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. Okay, let's start. So for line 1, we have points of start and ends. We use the formula for the equation of the line. We are finding the slope using, of course, these values. And here it is, line 1 equals to 1.5x. Okay, for point 2, we have already here, it's a tricky proportion because at the beginning it says that cuts line 1 at 1/3 of its length. So we easily could think that we can use the proportion 1 to 3, but that is not a proportion. The proportion should be 1 to 2, and it's because if this is 1/3, it's cut in 3 equal parts. So the proportion is 1 part in here and 2 parts in here. That's why it's creating 1 to 2. The general formula for finding this point P that will create this proportion is right here. We use the values for the first point, the last point, and of course we're going to use the values of m and n. From there, we're finding that this point is actually 0, 0. Okay, is right there. Okay, I did a quick also calculation, verification, knowing that is actually 1/3 the proportion of this segments. Well, now we know that there is a line 2, there's this line 2 that is perpendicular to line 1. So this is the condition that should be met. Okay, from here, the slope of line 2 should be -2. Again, we use the general formula for the linear equation, the equation of the line, and we find that line 2 is equals to -2x, which is on this graph in here. All right, let's continue to point 3. On point 3, we have the line 3 cuts line 1 into ratio 3 to 3 or 3 to 2. So the ratio is given already. So we're going to use exactly the same formula. We're using the terms of the ratio, and we're using points A and B to find that this point P is 16/5 and 8/5. Now, line 3 is parallel to line 2. Therefore, the slopes should be the same. So the slope for line 3 is -2. Again, the general formula of the linear equation. And we're finding that line 3 is equals to -2x plus 8 is this one here in this teal color. This 3.2, 1.6 is the same of 16/5 and 8/5. It's just in a decimal form. All right, let's go to point number 4. Point number 4, pretty straightforward. Starts on -8, 5, ends at -3, -5. Okay, it's right here, -8, -5. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, and -3, -5 is right there. Okay, between these 2 points, again, line 4 is parallel to line 3. Therefore, line 4 should have the same slope, which is -2. We use the general formula, and we will find the equation. right? Negative 2x minus 11 is right here, line 4. Okay, let's go to line 5. So the graph is getting bigger and bigger. All right. So line 5 says that passes by midpoint of line 4. Of course, line 4 is all this, but when it says the midpoint of line 4, it's talking about the segment from E to F. So we're using here the formula for the middle point. Okay, x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. We're finding that the middle point is this point G in here. Negative 11 over 2 and 0, which is 5.5, negative 5.5 and 0. And one more time, this line 5, let's remember, is parallel to line 1. And line 1, the slope of line 1 was 1/2. Therefore, the slope of line 5 should be 1/2 because these are parallel lines. We use again our formula, and we have line 5 in here. All right, here's our line 5, and let me show you, is this one here. Okay, line 5. Okay, let's go to the last one, line 6. For line 6, we have a point of stars in negative 4 and 5, which is this point H. We know that it's parallel to line 1, therefore it's going to have slope 1/2. We use the equation, the formula for the equation of the line, and we're finding that is 1/2 x plus 7. So it's very interesting because after this um, we're being told that this line 2 cuts line 6 into a ratio 1 to 5. So this ratio 1 to 5, we know we need to find out what is the intersection between line 2 and this line 6 because we don't know. This intersection will be like having a simultaneous equations, okay, between line 6 and line 2. Once we solve this system, we find that this point is negative 14 over 5 and 28 over 5 right here, this point I. Now, the proportion that is created because this distance between I and a point that we don't know, point J, um, it should be this proportion that uh, that we're presented here, 1 to 5, okay? So now we have to solve that part of the proportion. Exactly the same. We have 1 point, um, we have the proportion 1 to 5, but there is something different here. What we don't know, we usually find what is the point P that will create this proportion. On this case, we know that point P, we know the coordinates of this point P because the point P on this case is the intersection between line 2 and line 6. What we don't know are the coordinates of this point J. Okay, once we solve this, we have to compare the coordinate on x of this point P with the coordinate on x that we're finding for the proportion. Same thing for the point on y, and we're finding this point J over here. So from H to I and from I to J, that it will be the proportion created 1 to 5. Let me see. I think this is it. Check. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Again, visit gomrmath.com. We will be glad and happy to help you with your homework, with the questions you have. You can visit the website. There's a part in there where you can upload your questions, or you can send emails, you can send text messages, you can contact us through our social media. Thank you for watching.